This is Aaron with Zollotech. Today we're going to show you how to root the MyTouch 3G and load your own ROM onto it. First, I wanted to give you a word of warning. If you have one of the newer MyTouches that comes preloaded with the 1.6 Android version, you're going to want to skip this, as it will not work for you. So don't try this if you have a 1.6 on there when you bought it. If you had 1.5 on there when you bought it, you're good to go. So let's take a look at this. Today we're going to show you how to root and flash the MyTouch 3G. There are a few steps, and I'm going to walk you through those so you can get more functionality out of your MyTouch. So the first thing we're going to do is connect this via USB. And to do that, we bring down the slider, hit USB connect, and we're going to mount this. So once that's mounted, we're going to go ahead and go to our laptop. This can be Windows or Mac. And what you're going to do is dump a flash recovery tool and an image onto the memory card. And once you've done that, you just drag them over. And once you've done that, we can run them on the MyTouch. But we first need to drag them over here. So what we'll do is dump this on here. And this will take just a moment. So we're going to drag the flash recovery, and we're going to recover the recovery image onto the MyTouch, right onto the memory card. Do not modify it, just drop it on there, and that's what we're going to do. So then we're going to disconnect our USB. And now that it's disconnected, we're going to have to go ahead and be sure we're connected to a network first so we can go into the marketplace. And once we're in here, we want to go into the Lynda File Manager. We're going to search for that. And again, that's the Lynda File Manager. And this takes just a second as it's a little bit difficult to type on this. There we go. So make sure you accept the terms of service. I haven't been on this yet since I restored it to 1.5 so that I could root this and add the ROM. So we'll go ahead and hit accept, and we'll go ahead and search for the Lynda File Manager again. Once that comes up, we're going to download and install that. Now what it's going to probably do is ask us if we want to install unsolicited software, but that's the next step. So we're going to install this, but we're going to use these other applications that we've put on the memory card to allow us to start the MyTouch in a different manner and load a ROM of our choice onto it. So right now it's downloading. It's going to take a moment, and it's on edge, and I only have a couple bars as I'm in a concrete building, but it'll take just a moment. So we'll wait for that. There we go. And we'll go ahead and install. So we're just going to take a look at, see, yeah, it's there. We'll go ahead and, there we go. And we're going to go into the SD card. And here we have our two files that we've loaded on. We're going to touch the flash recovery. And then we're going to go ahead and change our settings, like I was saying before, and allow unknown sources, and then hit OK. We're back. We ran into a little bit of a snag. So we're going to go back into the Lynda File Manager, and we're going to tap the SD card, and we're going to tap flashrecovery.apk, and we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to install. And once this installs, we'll get a few different options. So we're going to open that. And now that we're in here, we're going to back up our recovery image. So we'll tap that. There we go. Takes just a moment. So there we go. We're going to tap the box and bring up the keyboard and type in slash. So this will take a moment, but it's slash SD card. So we'll get that typed. That we brought over here, we're going to grab the file and bring it over here and put the name in. So it's slash SD card slash recovery. Then dash capital R, capital A. Then we're going to dash dream. And again, these will be on the screen as you can see. Dash V1 .2 .3 .img. So once we've got that, we're going to hit done. And there should be an option, actually, it auto-corrected and says ingest. So we need to back up and type IMG. And then done. And then we're going to actually hit flash recovery image. And there we go. It'll take just a moment, and it's done. And now what we're going to do is actually reboot the phone. And that will only take a moment. And should present us with the power options. Oh, we got the screen. There we go. So I'll click OK, power off the phone, and this will shut down. So it will take just a moment. And now that it's off, we're going to turn this back on holding home and the power button. So we're going to do that together. And it will take just a moment to come up. And it will give us some different options now that will give us the options to flash the ROM and actually allow us to load a ROM. But this will take just a moment to come up to the screen. And we're still waiting for this. There we go. Okay, so now we have a few options. And I'll bring this up close. So now you can see, and what you want to do is change whatever parameter you need for the ROM you have. So we're going to first wipe the data and do a factory reset. And here you just hit home and follow the screen directions. It's pretty easy. And it will take just a moment, and that's it. You're going to do that prior to any version of doing the ROM that you need to put on there. So you're going to wipe this every single time. Depending on the ROM, you're going to want to change it to FAT32, XTX2, and swap. That's usually what you want to format it in, and that's the majority of what you'll see. Sometimes it calls for something different, so you want to be specific per that ROM. And this will partition and take a moment. And as you can see, it is taking a moment. And once it's done, we're actually going to pop the back off, pull the battery, and then take the SD card out and put it in the computer in your SD card memory reader. And you're also going to want a memory card reader that will work with your SD card on Windows or Mac. And we're going to dump that ROM onto it. So now the partition is complete. We're going to take the back off. We're going to take the battery out. We're going to take out the memory card and put it in our reader here. And then we're going to put it in the actual reader. And again, Windows or Mac, we got this slid in, and it's going to come up on our screen. And once it's up on the screen, there's nothing in here. And we're going to put our ROM in here. Just drag and drop, or depending on how you do this, it doesn't matter. And each file should normally be about 100 megabytes, depending on the ROM, give or take a few. So you'll definitely want to make sure that it's the right, if it's only a couple megabytes, it won't matter. So we're going to rename this to update.zip. So you want to make sure that the extension is on, the zip extension is there, make sure it's there and not hidden, and name it to update.zip. And that's it. We're going to disconnect the card, eject that, put it back into the MyTouch. We're going to put our battery back in. I'm going to put the back on just so that the battery doesn't fall out. Makes me a little bit nervous. When I'm flashing something, you lose power, your phone is bricked. So again, hold home and power and bring us up to that menu again. It's going to take just a moment. And we're still waiting. But I wanted to do this in real time so you kind of got the feeling of how long this takes, because it does take a while. There we go. So again, we're going to go down to wipe data, factory reset. And we're going to hit home just to confirm that. It'll take just a moment. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and load the ROM. So we do apply SD card update.zip.